Hello and thank you for joining me. Today's video is all about my good lady's get home bag. Stay tuned. So this is a bag. It's a Cybertron, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a Versapack clone. I originally bought it for myself, then I wasn't too keen on the colour. So it's surplus kit. If I'm honest, with the exception of one item within this get home bag, everything else has been from me using surplus items that I already own. Yeah, stuff that I've got in boxes that's not really doing anything. Now the good lady works approximately 3 miles from home. She travels to and from work by car. This lives in the boot of her car. Where she works, she's quite lucky that she's got absolutely every facility she would ever want, including a very good basement if things go really south, with backup power sources, food and everything. But that's enough about that. But I wanted something that's in the car that if I'm actually in the car and we're going somewhere, I put my get home bag in there as well, and we've got plenty. So bearing in mind that 9 times out of 10 this would have additional kit with it. In the car she's got first aid kit, torch and a couple of blankets in the boot, or if you're American, the trunk. Anyway, enough of me waffling, let's crack on. So this side of it, we've got a 1 litre Nalgene bottle, and then a Tatonka stainless steel pot. Capacity wise, it's about 600 millilitres, safe capacity about half a litre. Yeah, obviously any more than that would be too near the top and you'll end up with spillage. Not the lightest in the world, it's stainless steel, but it's pretty bomb proof. I wouldn't expect her to be walking very far with this bag due to some health issues, but that's enough of that. But overall the bag, even wet, only comes in at 6.5 pounds in weight. So a litre of water in the Nalgene and a Tatonka nesting stainless cup. This top pocket has got nothing in it apart from one of my old Swiss Army knives. Perfectly legal to carry without good reason in the UK because the cutting edge is below 3 inches and then unlocking. I changed, this was surplus, instead of it sitting in a drawer, it's got a second use, if that makes sense. Rear zip pocket. Mylar blanket. A bin bag or a trash bag, depending what side of the pond you're on. A hank of paracord, 550 cord. And an orange emergency sleeping bag, cum bivvy bag, Mylar. So as I say, she carries blankets in the car. This is just a bit of a, you know, something a little bit of additional to that for a shelter and keeping warm element, especially if it is a survival situation, it's not camping. That's it. This pocket on the side, and then within this polythene bag, sorry for the crinkly noises, is an anchor, and it's just a little, I think they call them lipstick power packs and charging leads. So it will give her phone, if it's completely dead and she can't charge it off the car, it will take her phone up to about 70-75% capacity, but for an emergency it's ideal. Obviously the car's got charging cables in, but this is a standby to that. It's just kept in a poly bag just to offer a little bit of weather resistance and keep the dampness out. Okay, this pocket, absolutely nothing in there. On the drawstring, as you can see, there is a small LED photon light. I fit these to all the drawstrings and all my bags, regardless of what their use is, because they are ideal when you open your bag and you actually want to see what the contents are or where things are, when it's dark. That's on a carabiner, so you can take it off and attach it to a person. There's a whistle, although this isn't wilderness survival. A whistle's still better if you're trapped in a building or a lift or there's a problem. It's still better way of signalling than shouting. And then there's a little cash stash container that, to be fair, she's probably forgotten there's money in it. And there's £20 note in there, so there's some emergency cash. Inside, in the little sleeve pocket, is one yellow chem light, can be used for signalling or for lighting. Then there's this drawstring bag, and what I've done is I've written on it food and drink. So there's one all-day breakfast. It's a boil in a bag job. It's already cooked. If you're starving to death and you don't mind it being minging, it can be eaten cold. British Army or British Forces issue cinnamon cake. A spork, just stainless steel this, a bit on the heavy side, but I think it was 4 of them for about £6 on Amazon. And just, you can't knock it, can you really? So stainless steel spork. And then in the Ziploc here, there are some of her favourite sweets, which are no sugar mint humbugs. There's some boiled sweets or hard candy, some 2-in-1 coffees, and some powdered drink powder, and a packet of sweeteners. So that's just a few snacks and some drinks. The reason the drink powder's in here is that she doesn't like the taste of water. So she's carrying a litre, but the chances are she would put a little sachet of drinks powder into it. What they're also handy for is if you do have to use purification tablets after you've left the tablet for 30 minutes, not before, yeah, you can add the powdered drink and it will take some of the chlorine taste out of the water to make it more palatable. But you must only add that after the time span's gone for the puri tab, because otherwise the drinks powder can interfere, get my teeth in, with the purification tablet and make it less effective. And that's it from a food wise. So it's just really food and drinks. There's a few snacks in there. In this front sleeve pocket is a notepad and a Write in the Rain pen. What I've done in the notepad, because this is the Good Ladies kit, she hasn't packed it, so she probably doesn't even know that half the contents are in it, to be honest. She knows it's in the boot, but she won't know about the contents. So in the front of the book, I actually listed every item that's in the bag. And as you'd have seen, every item that's coming out, if it isn't obvious, if it's in bags, are actually labelled up. And it just tells her what's in there. And when it comes, for instance, a food and drink, it says 1 all-day breakfast, and in brackets, can be eaten hot or cold, just as a reminder. Then all the other items, then it mentions water purification tablets. There's 10 of those kept within that food bag. So that will treat 10 litres of water. And it says 1 tablet per litre, wait for 30 minutes. So it's just basically an inventory of everything that's in the bag, and then instructions if I think that they're actually needed, because as I say, the good lady doesn't use this kit all the time, so she's not going to be familiar with it. So just having some notes can be a godsend to someone that is not in and out of their kit on a frequent basis. So there's just instructions, and then of course it's a writing pad. Into the next zipped pocket we have a toiletries bag. So there is a little bar of soap, courtesy of Travelodge, some tissues, toothpaste, toothbrush, some nitrile gloves, antiperspirant deodorant, a couple of COVID masks, face masks, and some alcohol-free wet wipes. Then a bottle of hand sanitizer. And this is the only item that I like to buy for the kit, and that's a she-wee. So it enables ladies to urinate either standing up, or because of the nature of the object, it's like a funnel, they can then have a tiddle into a smaller container without worrying too much. Then there's a little container and it just says pills, and inside that are some paracetamol and some anti-diarrhea tablets, and then I wrote down the expiry dates and the dosage onto a little piece of paper that's actually stored inside it. Now, the small amount of paracord there, I think I actually initially put that on there that she can unclip it, then clip with the lanyard those items on there and stick it round her neck if she so wanted. This side pocket is another little drawstring bag, and I've wrote on it spares and repair. So we've got a little bit of Gorilla Tape. It's the inch wide stuff wrapped around a bit of an old store card. I've just cut it down, so there's some Gorilla Tape. A mirror, can be used for first aid or for signalling. A Fresnel lens, and on the cover is some basic ground to air signals, Morse code, and some tips on navigation. Then in this little tin, it's marked up spares and repair. There's a piece of inner tube or ranger band, depending if you want to be tactical. Primary use, as far as I'm concerned, would be to light to enable a fire. Inside the tin is another photon LED, a spare battery for the torch, a tin opener, screwdriver that I think it came out of, I had a Victorinox card, you know, it's like a credit card with the tools in, that was in it. The card's long gone, but the screwdriver bits are still there. A couple of cable ties or zip ties, some safety pins, a razor blade, a little emergency sewing kit, a button compass, just for cardinal directions, a couple of plasters or band-aids, and a section of hot glue gun glue, which is quite handy. You can heat it up with a lighter and then apply it to use as a glue or to seal holes in things. Then we have down the side another tin, and this time it says fire kit, again piece of an inner tube or ranger band, and in the fire kit is a packet of storm matches from a UK ration pack. It looks like there's 4 or 5 tinder quicks in that tube, a mini Bic lighter, a Scout ferro rod and a striker, two alcohol pads and some pieces of tinder card. Now, in all honesty, I don't imagine that she would be building a fire and singing Ging Gang Gooly round it. As I said, if I'm in the vehicle and there's a problem, our kits supplement each other. So if I haven't put my bag in her car and something happens, then if we need a fire, I will imagine it would probably be me that actually decides to do that. And I think that is pretty much all of it. So it's not a proper survival kit per se. It's for the good lady. It's just something that's in her car, and should there be a little drama, it will hopefully give her the items needed to get over the drama and to make life a little bit more comfortable. YouTube is full of videos of primarily chaps, blokes, men, building kits and showing their kits off, their EDC, their get-home bags, their inch bags, their bug-out bags and all the rest of it. Very rarely do you hear them mention or see what they've done for their loved ones. And I think that's very important. It's all well and good you having the all dancing and all singing kit, you know, to have it away on your toes if the poop hits a propeller. What about your loved ones? What have you done for them? As I say, the only cost here that I had to buy specifically was a Shiwi thing. And to be fair, it was under a tenner. A lot. I think it's about £5 on Amazon. That's it. Hope this video has been of use. If it has, please do click the subscribe and like button. It does help. It does give me a little bit of encouragement to, you know, to do some more videos. And I would welcome your comments. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.